It's cold, it's windy. It was hailing before. And it's also day 600 in a row of squat every day. My 600th day. It's actually quite unbelievable to think about it in that way. And when I started this, I never really thought this was going to be like this. I thought I'd just do it for like a month or two, and then here I am. I really wanted to mark the occasion today, but as you guys know, that I've kind of been feeling under the weather the last few days. And with the weather that it is today, my sore throat and my cough and all of that, like I didn't think it was a good idea to do 600 bodyweight squats. So I opted out for 6 lemons. As you can see there, I was sitting there last night eating my dinner, and I kind of looked across and I saw the lemons, and I thought, well, I can't freaking do 600 bodyweight squats, and I can't do 600 pounds or 600 kilos. So what am I going to do? And I thought, why don't I just have 6 lemons? It kind of fits into the whole picture of me being sick, me trying to recover from all of this. And if I down 6 lemons, I think all of those bacteria, all of those viruses that are living in my throat are going to be like, man, the hell this, we're out. So I ended up having 6 lemons. I worked up to a 180 kilo single, as you saw there, and then I kind of took 10% off of that bar, which was 160 kilos, and I did 6 doubles with that. Actually, you can see there the first lemon is a dud, absolutely rotten, no juice in it at all. So I'm actually quite glad about that, because by the end of this, I was actually about to vomit, and my teeth were about to fall out. They feel chalky as hell right now. So that's kind of how I marked the occasions with 6 lemons. It just kind of popped into my head. I wanted to do something, and I can't really do anything physically in terms of high repetition, so that's what I did. It was a bit of fun. Well, it was fun at the start. I got quite over it after the first lemon. But that's basically what ended up happening today. I wanted to mark day 600. It's like I said, man, like I never set out to do this. A lot of you guys say to me, you're disciplined, I'm motivating. Honestly, man, like I think it's easier to look at these type of things and just be like, okay, one step at a time, one session at a time. How can I train tomorrow? What's happening tomorrow? How can I maneuver my schedule tomorrow to allow squatting or to allow this training session? That's kind of how I've dealt with all of this, Hopefully, not hopefully, but your Corona definitely helped the occasion, because we haven't really traveled anywhere. We haven't gone on a holiday or anything. So that's kind of helped. But, plenty of going on in life, moved house, all that sort of, there's been heaps happening kind of in the background, in the scenes. You guys definitely see the floating floorboards in the garage. So you guys can kind of imagine what's happening inside the house, renovations or whatever. So lots happening, but no matter what happens in my life, I always think to myself, every day that I go to bed, every day, that I kind of plan for the day, I think to myself, okay, how can I make squatting every day happen? How can I make my passion? How can I recharge my batteries? And honestly, like, I've said this in the past, man, I don't think it's all that difficult to do something that you truly love. Do you know what I mean? Like, we all have those different things. Some of you guys train because of necessity, because you kind of want to get healthier. You want to put on a bit of muscle mass or strength for your sport or whatever. A lot of you guys are not in here for the primary reason of squatting. You've got other things happening in life. You've got other passions. Me, man, like my biggest passion when it comes to training, physical exercise, is squatting. I know it sounds simple as all hell, man, but I gave up basketball, 10 years ago now, more than 10 years ago now. And I was looking for a few years there. I was kind of lost. I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I found a challenge, which was the squat. I struggled immensely with the damn thing. I couldn't kind of get into positions, kind of like what you guys tell me in the comments all the time, man. You got such good mobility. You make this look easy. Man, it wasn't like this all the time. My squat wasn't natural. I'm not one of those guys that can just sit in the hall, from the get-go. Most days I come in here, like I can't just drop into a squat perfectly. Like, I kind of need to kind of play with the bar for a little bit, a few sets, before I can kind of like jump in. Certainly I have days where I feel really, mobile and whatever, but I'm not unnatural is what I'm trying to say. And I think the way my mentality is, the way my personality is, when I find something that's really difficult, it kind of attracts me He kind of challenges me to kind of master it. Deadlifting for me was always kind of easy, like not in the sense that I can lift 2 tons, but in the sense the technical side of it is just you go down, you pick the bar up. Sure, there's some intricacies here and there, but it's not like a overly difficult lift. Not to me when I compare it to squat anyway. The same with the bench press. You just aim for your freaking, lower third of your chest or just above your nipples, and you push up from there. Like it's not a lot going on there. So it was always going to be the squat, and here I am. The bug bit me, and I fell in love with it. Fell in love with the challenge, and here I am, day 600. It's actually like it's incredible for me to think about it. Kind of when I sit back and look where I've kind of come from. And that's what kind of fuels me. Some of you guys are going to be like, man, 600 days of anything is impressive. And it is. I guess if you ask me to, mow my lawn 600 days in a row, it's not going to be, I'm not going to be looking forward to that. If you ask me to go for a run 600 days in a row, I'm not going to be excited about that. So I think we all have it somewhere in our lives. We just have to kind of work it out and find it. And I guess in my scenario, I'm quite lucky in the sense that I've kind of found that thing which drives me, which motivates me. It's just the way it is. I guess some of us go throughout all of our life not figuring out what it is. Certainly I've kind of been the lucky one. And also I think part of the motivation, part of the drive, part of the whole thing here of me making it 600 days in a row is my work. I've mentioned this in the past. I think my job keeps me motivated, man, because I see people all the time that are, a lot less fortunate than me in terms of luck in life and genetics and whatever. A lot of people just have been dealt bad cards and can't even freaking walk or get cancer at the age of 20 or die on the road at the age of 40 or whatever. And so I have some of these exposures. I have, some of these stories kind of to listen to every single day, kind of that I go to work. There's somebody, with kind of having the worst day of their life, I guess. How many people have the best days of their life in emergency? That's a big kind of factor as well. So when you add all of this up together, kind of you have a recipe for a guy to kind of push through 600 days in a row. A lot of you guys have said to me, Ivan doesn't even really want to improve his 1 rep max. It's about, this spiritual journey. It's about documenting his, emotional side, kind of going through the process of learning and kind of, going through life. I don't know whether that's completely accurate. Like definitely, I want to get stronger. I'm not doing this just to freaking waste time and kind of, YouTube popularity or anything like this. A few guys have said recently like, I think it would be better for you to kind of rest a few weeks or a few days or something and then come back to it. You'll be stronger. That might be the case. Certainly that might be the case. In fact, the majority of sports literature would say that is the case. But for me, as I've said many times in the past, for me, the motivation is not just, putting numbers on the bar. Honestly, that is a big part of it, but I want to do it my way. The first time I discovered squat every day, the first time I heard about Ivan Abajev, John Bros, Pavel Tsatsouline, power to the people, I got touched and something in me clicked, and I've been wondering ever since. I've been learning ever since. It kind of hit a spark in me. I genuinely think deep down in me that I can make this work. I can make it work. I think frequency is the number 1 pillar. I think intensity, like training max, is the number 1, is the second pillar, or the share, kind of the top 2 spots. So I've always kind of wanted to make squat every day, not kind of like the complete carbon copy of Ivan Abajev did, but kind of scale it back a little bit and kind of intertwine a bit of Pavel Tsatsouline's grease the groove method, kind of merge them together and make something work. Part of this journey for me is not getting just to 300 kilos. That is the goal. Obviously, I'm not like, I really want to get to that, but I don't want to just get it at any old cost. I do not want to do block periodization. Right now, it doesn't excite me to spend 12 weeks, with 60% weight, and then 8 weeks with 80% weight, and then do a picking block for 4 weeks or whatever. I've tried that in the past, and training becomes stale and boring. And if you ask me to do that, kind of 600 days in a row some way, even though you don't do that, block periodization, I wouldn't be so excited about training. I literally feel like there's a motivation here psychologically and physically. Physically, the fact that, I'm kind of, training my body, I'm getting stronger, I'm learning all these different things. But psychologically, I'm trying to kind of break through, make a method, like discover something new, come up with something. It's not just about following a program, getting a coach and following their advice. Because I feel like a lot of people are just regurgitating the same shit over and over and over again. That's not exciting to me, man. It's not exciting to me. You see it all the time in sports. New methods come up and that particular team or player or something kills everyone. There's like a sudden increase of like performance, records are broken or whatever. Rarely do you see people, not rarely, but like what I'm trying to say is, you do see people kind of break through with kind of conventional wisdom and knowledge and methods, but those people are generally kind of the genetic freaks, The way I think about it is like this, man. If 100% of the population is doing 5x5, sure, you're going to have people kind of come up to the top, and those people are genetically, predisposed to that. I've kind of worked out early on in the piece that I'm not genetically a marvel when it comes to strength. It's like I'm not. So I'm kind of looking for something else, like another kind of way to bypass that and be the guy who is genetically better than me and is following a traditional method. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to kind of be the guy with kind of average genetics, but with kind of like a different method and beat him like that. Because if I stay in the lane that he's in and he's driving a freaking Formula 1 car and I'm on a bicycle, I ain't catching up to anyone, man. I'm not catching up to anyone. So a big part of this is me trying to work out how do I make squat every day work? Because deep down in my soul, I feel like strength is a skill. I 100% agree with Pavel Tsatsouline. Strength is a skill. Neural efficiency, neural proficiency is the way to get strong when you can't put on endless amounts of mass. Without steroids, without all the other restoratives, you can't put on endless amount of mass. So you can't rely just putting on more mass forever. When you hit a plateau, people say, I just eat more food. Well, eating more food just means getting fatter. You can't just put on, if I eat more, I'm not going to put on more muscle. There's going to be a whole lot more fat coming onto my frame. And then you get stronger. Of course you're going to get stronger because mass moves mass. It's just the way it is, man. Big people are stronger than little people. My challenge here is to stay a healthy body weight, not put on fat, because I don't feel like I can put another 20 kilos of muscle naturally. I just don't feel like it's possible in my life. So I've gone, okay, I can't do that. So where do I go? Where do I go? I need to go in another direction. And this is where Pavel Tsatsouline, Ivan Abajev, John Bros, this is where they cater to my soul and my mind. Let's work the damn nerves. Let's perfectly work out the output. You know what I mean? That's the only way you can make it work without going to the mass. Obviously, I hear you. You can't flex bone. But what I'm saying to you is, I feel like this training will give you the right amount of muscle mass anyway, while also catering to the whole neural efficiency and practicing a skill. So this is kind of where I'm coming from. There's been a lot of chatter kind of in the comments kind of over the last few weeks about squat every day and why it doesn't work and why this works. I get all of that. Like most of the sports scientists and most of the knowledge out there, everyone agrees this doesn't work. It doesn't work because the literature says so, right? The best method is this or block periodization or whatever. What I'm trying to say is that everyone thinks that. You're not being unique by saying that. I guess some of you might appreciate what I'm trying to do here, trying to come up with my own method, trying to come up with my own style of training, trying to alter something that maybe works for the steroid users in the squat everyday method, scale it back a little bit, tweak it a little bit, play with different exercises, play with kind of assistance exercises to kind of work out the best way to go about combating some of the overuse injuries and whatever, and kind of make the squat every day work really, really well. Because I'm not convinced yet, even after 600 days, that this is not the way forward. I truly feel like this is the way forward. And if you guys are kind of thinking that I'm doing this just to freaking waste time and for, how long can I'm not doing it for a marathon. I'm not going for 1,000 days or 50,000 days. I'm doing this because I want to get stronger, number one, but I also want to get stronger in my own way and work out my own freaking program and leave a mark on this world. Maybe, okay? I'm trying to create something. I mean, that's kind of the artistic side in all of this, is that I'm trying to kind of come up with something new. No one's done 600 days in a row. That makes me feel good. But that's not the end of it, right? I don't want to just be the guy that's squatted 1,000 times and put on 2 kilos on his max. I legit want to make it work. I want to make it work because I feel a natural athlete's best chance of getting stronger is not to just put on endless mass, fat and muscle. It's to become more neurally efficient. How do we make those nerves fire better? You know, I'm reading the book, you know, by Matt Perryman, Squat Every Day. I've told you this a few times in the last few videos. And he's been reminding me over and over again. He's reminding me that we, you know, are governed by the central nervous system. And there's many different things happening within that to kind of blockade the nervous system from firing harder. And it's a joy to read again. But there's also ligaments, tendons, muscles, nerves. There's a lot of other, you know, I guess, bell curves when it comes to recovery and whatnot. It's not just about muscle. When we're talking about block periodization, most of the time we're just thinking about, okay, let's repair the muscle and the central nervous system. We know that ligaments and tendons love frequency. You guys always say to me, how have you not snapped your knees? Because joints love frequency. Because when you move, you know, your joints, your ligaments, your knees and hips, they get circulation through movement, because a lot of ligaments are not vascular. They don't have direct blood supply. So how do we get it to there? Well, the synovial fluid, or the soup, which the joint kind of swims in, gets its blood and nutrients kind of away. It gets its circulation from adjacent tissues in the body by movement, diffusion. Okay, so there is some, like, you don't have to take my word for it. Just read the book. You know, Matt explains it really well. He's got a science background, a lot freaking higher educated than me. But movement is medicine. I've said this over and over again. Movement is medicine, and this is how we keep joints healthy. It's not squat once and then leave 7 days inactivity. Okay, you might have catered to the muscle side of things, but you're certainly not catering to the nerves. You're certainly not catering to the joints, because they want more frequency. So this is where I'm thinking, you know, about all of this. I want to kind of make a program for the natural athlete. I want to prove that it can work. Deep down in my soul, I feel like this can work. I just need to kind of iron out a few things and work it out and go from there. But I genuinely, like I say, you know, for the 50th time, I'm not doing this just for a marathon run. I'm not doing this for endurance. How long can this guy last? I want to get stronger, and I want to do it my way. All right, guys, that's a long-ass spiel about what I'm thinking about right now. I hope you enjoyed the video, me kind of freaking losing my teeth on day 600 through lemon eating. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.